to Salam Media Highlights on myself, Salayelo Makudire, and I have great news. Today we're going to be beginning a new ongoing series. We'll be speaking directly to South Africans participating in the global Sumud Flotilla. I'm sure you know by now, it is a large international civilian maritime mission aimed to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza and to break the siege, to break the illegal blockade that the people of Gaza, people of Palestine are subjected to by the Israeli regime. The flotilla includes hundreds of boats and participants from all across the world. And South Africa has a delegation on board made up of activists, medical professionals, and support personnel, just general good, peace-loving South Africans who, like all of us, have a passion for the people of Palestine and for Gaza because of our shared history, and for Ubuntu, essentially. And over the coming weeks, we'll be speaking to each of the South African delegates individually, following the experiences, preparations, their perspectives as the mission unfolds at sea. And today, we'll be starting with our first participant. We'll be speaking to Chef, Humanitarian and Activist, Brother Qutb Hendricks, who's joining us from international waters. I'm not sure where he is. Let us know once we start peeling back the layers of why he got involved in such a very, very important mission, a mission that I think all of us should consider being a part of in some way or the other, whether it's about following them and making sure that you spread awareness online, or you tweet about it, you donate towards the mission, whatever way that is possible, you can get involved. And he's joining us via a virtual platform, as I mentioned. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Hope you can hear me. Really, really excited to be chatting to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Qutb Hendricks, live and clear from the city of Marmaris in Turkey.
No, the pleasure is all ours, and I'm really, really excited to be chatting to you. And I think we can jump right into it. If you can just, briefly introduce yourself to our audience and just give us insight, on how you got involved with the Global Sumud Flotilla. We saw previous flotillas, I think in previous years, they made such a big impact, and there was also a lot of danger associated with them. This decision, to say, what, I'm going to be a part of this. I want to, be part of this year's cohort of, making our way to Gaza, even despite knowing the challenges and dangers that are there. What inspired it all? All right. We seem to have lost Brother Qutb there, which is understandable. He's currently in international waters. They've left already. So I think you can understand if there's going to be some sort of a technical issue, a glitch here and there, because there's no stable internet in international waters. And yeah, hopefully we're going to try and get him back, and we can try and get more insight on his journey, what motivated him to get involved on a very, very wonderful mission that I think a lot of us need to participate in. We've been following a lot of missions here at Salam Media, and the Global Sumud Flotilla has really made an impact. Do we have him back on air? All right. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Qutb. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm back. Sorry, we are on the boat in the port, so the reception may not be very good.
Interview going to try and sort out the sound issue, and hopefully we'll be able to get more insight on this really wonderful mission, and a mission that is for the ages. I think we can all agree. So hopefully after the short break we'll be able to get Brother Qutb Hendricks, and he'll let us know how did you go from being a chef in the kitchen to being in international waters and trying to break a illegal blockade by the Zionist regime.
Humanity sets the agenda.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views well, Snow News and Views, the Salam Media highlights of myself, Salaila Mokudire. And as I mentioned, we have embarked on a new journey. This is going to be a new series that we'll be bringing you here on Salam Media. We're going to be speaking to participants of the Global Sumud Flotilla, well, the South African delegation. And they're going to be giving us insight on how they got involved in this very, very wonderful mission. And most importantly, how do you prepare for it? Because I think we've been following all of these missions in recent years and they've become really, really dangerous. Boats are being intercepted, people are being arrested, they're being kidnapped. And it would be interesting to hear from the South African delegation on the motivation to be involved. And as I mentioned before, we went on that really, really short break. We'll be speaking to Brother Qutb Hendricks, who's joining us from international waters. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Qutb. Can you hear me?
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Oh,
I
there
can
we
hear you,
go.
yes.
Loud and clear. Thank you so much. I can hear you also. I was just, thinking to myself,
Apologies for the break in transmission.
yeah.
We are actually on port, and it's a very windy day here in Turkey, in Marmaris, Turkey. So the line may cut now and then.
Oh, no, no worries at all. We want to try and make it happen because I think this interview is very, very important. That's why I want to quickly jump right into it. Just introduce yourself briefly to those that are listening and just give us insight on how you got involved with the Global Sumud Flotilla. This mission, which is associated with a lot of danger recently. We saw, in the previous flotillas, boats being intercepted, people like Mandla Mandela being arrested, and the previous delegation going through, I think, very, very horrendous and traumatic experiences. But you decided to be part of the 2026 leg. Can you give us more insight on that?
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah, I'm a 48-year-old grandfather, a chef by profession, a humanitarian, and I decided to embark on this mission largely because there is no peace. There's no peace deal. Um, there has been ongoing genocide, killing, the brutality in Gaza, in Palestine, and we cannot stand by any longer.
Mm,
We have to physically go and do something. And I thought, as being a chef, uh, I would have the opportunity of cooking alongside Palestinian chefs to provide some nutritious meals to our Gazan brothers and sisters. Um,
mm,
on the 15th of May, it will be 78 years since the Nakba, and nothing has changed. In fact, the situation has gotten worse for our Palestinians. Despite ongoing hijackings of the flotilla since 2008, uh, for me personally, it didn't deter me. It actually motivated me. Also, considering what happened a few days ago to our colleagues at sea on Greece waters here in Turkey, at the port in Marmaris, the crew and participants are all eager to set sail. We are just awaiting the green
mm,
light from the organizers so they could leave in a few days. So the spirits are
mm,
high. Thiago are currently in Israeli jails, being tortured very badly, very severely. I'm sure many of you have seen the videos on different social media platforms on how they looked when they appeared in court. They looked stressed.
mm,
They looked but we are not afraid. Our Allah is with us. Wa ni'mal nasir.
mm,
Every single participant here is ready to not only give their life, but of course, we've all sacrificed our time. But it's nothing compared to what the Palestinians are going through at the moment. They've lost everything.
mm,
What inspired me was, as a chef, I saw a 3-year-old girl who was asked a question: "What do you want in life?" As an aspirational question was asked to this 3 or 4-year-old girl. And she replied in Arabic, Akhil, she just wants food. And I was
Mm,
heartbroken when I saw this video, apart from all the other horrendous videos we see on a daily basis. And that inspired me to apply. So I applied about 2.5 months ago to the Global Sumud website. There was a long process of security clearances and interviews that we had to go through. And just about 3 weeks ago, got a final confirmation. And the South African group will be flying out of Turkey.
mm,
Yeah, so at the moment we are I'm not at liberty to discuss details of our mission from here due to security and sensitivity of the mission. I hope you would understand.
no, no,
But
makes sense.
the teams on the ground, we have gone through extensive training. Myself and brother Yusuf Rahman from Johannesburg are already sleeping on the boat because we've been appointed as organizers. Our tasks are basically to facilitate the operations on the boat while the captain navigates, and we are waiting for participants to join, hopefully in the next 2-3 days or so prior to departure.
Mm, mm, mm. No, thank you so much for that. And I think we really understand the fact that, you can't divulge much because of security concerns. That's why I want to come back to, the preparation for this mission, psychologically, emotionally, and even, talking to your family. Telling them that you're going to be part of this mission. I think we all followed the previous flotillas, as you said, from 2008. They've been very, very dangerous. The previous one, the latest one in 2025, we saw stories that were really, really horrendous. The South African delegation that was kidnapped essentially by the IDF in international waters. They came back with some horrific stories. How do you psychologically prepare yourself for that? How do you psych yourself, for that reality? And also the conversation with your family, where do you even begin telling them that, you see that thing that we've been reading about and following on social media the previous year? Well, this time around, I want to be a part of it. And how did they react? Brother Hood, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. The line was a bit unclear. I didn't hear the
Yeah.
question, but just in preparation, there is firstly a spiritual preparation. That's most
Yeah.
important. A spiritual preparation for a journey like this is fundamental. It's crucial. Of course, yes, there's psychological preparation as well to mentally, conjure up the idea in your mind of this is what could happen, may happen, whatever the case may be. But we are not, me personally, I'm not thinking about what may happen. Our goal is
Mm,
Gaza, and God willing, inshallah, we reach Gaza. In terms of the family, we had full support from my kids, from my parents, my siblings. I'm a grandfather as well, and I got a kiss from my grandson before I left. Over the phone because he lives
mm,
in Durban and I'm in Cape Town. So full support. Naturally, there's emotions that family feel, but it's more about doing it for the generations to come. So if I had to just trace back to look back to the example that I gave you of the 3-year-old child, my grandson is 3 years old, and
mm.
it's for them to see that
He can switch off the bandwidth. I mean the camera.
Brother Hood, are you still there? All right. Our team is going to work hard to try and get him back on air. Understandably so, as I mentioned, connection is really, really bad. He also mentioned that they are in boats, and it's quite a windy day in Turkey today, so that's understandable that the connection might be slightly bad. So while we're trying to get him back on air, I think I'll just reiterate just the importance of this mission and also what we witnessed just the previous year, because here at Salam Media we were following the flotilla quite extensively. We had a similar series to what we just launched today, where we're speaking to South Africans that are going to be on board. Some of these hundreds of boats that are going to be making their way to Gaza. And from what we gathered is, it was a mission that was really, really important from the onset. The preparation was, really, really meticulous from those that we spoke to. But things started to become, really, really hard when they had to embark. You could tell that there were a lot of challenges that they face in international waters, sabotage that was happening, the drone strikes that they encountered, and, all kinds of challenges, ultimately being, detained and captured and being in prison. I think it was something that was really a standout for us, and seeing people like Brother Qutb, yeah, still saying we're going to be part of this mission is really, really, I think, inspiring. We have you back online, and you're still talking about the family aspect of it, the fact that you have a 3-year-old grandchild yourself, and you reiterated the story of that little girl. How important is that aspect, Brother Qutb? The fact that we're doing it for the next generation, as you mentioned, and if we can't do it, or you can't do it in this case, then no one will.
Absolutely, we have to continue with our efforts, right? It's not about
Yeah.
this particular flotilla. There are many other ways, there are many other actions that are actually taking place all around the world. Institutions have stepped up, human rights organizations have stepped up, activists have stepped up, ordinary people like myself have stepped up, and the work is
Mm,
ongoing, right? At some stage, at some stage, we want to see Gaza as a free Gaza,
mm,
and we have to say enough is enough. Not on our watch. Gaza and the Palestinians have a right to freedom. Their freedom is a right and not a privilege. And
mm,
this is
mm,
the
most
dignity that Israel has taken away from them.
Mm, mm. And as a South African, is it all that more personal for you, considering South Africa's position when it comes to our posture when it comes to Gaza, the shared history that we have with the people of Palestine, and also
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. Could you
If you look at the relationship that Nelson Mandela, our father of our nation, had with President Yasser Arafat, on many
Mm,
occasions you see videos of him embracing him and saying to each other, my president, my brother, my brother. There was a very close link between South Africa and Palestine, and both countries were playing pivotal roles in the freedom, in liberation. But we've got our freedom. However, our freedom is not complete without their freedom.
mm, mm,
Nelson Mandela said it. We all know the saying: "We are not free until Palestine is free." But I think now it's on a global level. We are all not free if Palestine is not free, as a global community.
No, most definitely. How do you respond to critics who say, these kind of missions, the flotilla in itself, it's largely ceremonial. The aid really reaches the people of Gaza, and it's just a few boats. They won't make much difference, against the IDF or the Israeli Zionist naval forces. How do you respond to that? Those that feel like this is just ceremonial. It doesn't make much of a difference. We know that the boats will be intercepted. It has been proven time and time again that it never reaches Gaza.
The flotilla is already a success. It's been a success for every year that it's embarked. There's last year as an example, 2 billion people uh, gave their support via media, via posts, via marches all around the world. And for the first time in many years, the Gazans, because the flotilla was approaching Gaza, the IOF soldiers were actually distracted in detaining them at sea, and the Palestinians were able to fish. And that
Mm.
was so heartwarming to see. And that was a success in itself. They were able to fish for the first time in a long time. And that was largely due because of the flotilla and because of the distraction it created for the IOF soldiers to, board boats. Well, last year there were over 40 boats. Board those boats because there's personnel involved. You need men, you need soldiers to do that. So those soldiers were actually at the ports of Gaza, and they were now asked to detour to go to the flotilla boats and board them and bring them to Ashdod port. So that in itself was a success.
Mm.
Even now, even the other day, with our colleagues and our comrades being taken in Greek waters, it's a success because the world has opened its eyes to the impunity and the complicity of Greece
Mm.
in its role in Gaza, right? Um,
Mm.
Currently, there is a ship. There is a ship that's hovering around Greek waters, waiting for flotilla members heading
Mm.
towards Turkey to join, so we could join them in a few days' time and all leave together. It's actually a jail. It's literally a jail from the. So Israel has stepped up. It's because avoid how to just make it to Gaza. You know,
Mm.
people ask us, yeah, but it's interception and more torture. If we just stay focused on getting to Gaza, if we are intercepted, so be it. If we are
Mm.
tortured, so be it. So be it. Right?
Mm.
Um, we cannot just stand by and be quiet any longer.
Mm. Mm.
The world is seeing the true nature and has seen in the past, but now it's becoming more and more evident on a daily basis as to the brutality, the oppressive nature of this regime, which is such a dangerous one, not only for Palestinians, but for the world at large. And if we in South
Mm.
Africa don't wake up, it's 1948 all over again. Because
Mm.
Zionism, whether we want to accept this or not, is already on our shores and in our lands.
Mm. Mm. Most definitely.
And it's
Most
now
definitely.
time. Somebody asked me the other day, what can we do if we are not on the flotilla? Yes,
True.
what we can do, step up our efforts to boycott their products, boycott their
Mm.
stores, and don't put them into power in our country. This is what needs to be done.
Mm. Mm.
We have to
Very
step up
much.
our efforts. This is what we can do. Every single South African can step up and say, I'm sorry, this is not going to work in our country. We fought for freedom far too long. And
Mm.
because this is their aim. This is their aim.
Mm.
This is ultimately the aim. This is the goal. They've expanded on territories in Lebanon very recently during the conflict with Iran. They are expanding on territories now. They've pushed back the yellow line 1,000 kilometers. The yellow line was just 40, 50 kilometers out of Gaza, out of the shores of Gaza and Israel. Now it's 1,000 miles kilometers out. They're just expanding more and more and more territory, and they've said it openly. The Mediterranean belongs to us,
Mm.
right? So governments have failed, unfortunately, and now people are rising up and saying enough is enough. And that is the
Mm.
reason why I'm here. And many of the other participants will probably reiterate what I'm saying in their own way. Bottom line, not on our watch.
No, most definitely, Brother. I think it was a wonderful conversation. With you, getting to know you, getting to understand the reasons why you made this journey. We'll be touching base with you. I think a lot of times as you guys continue to embark and make sure that you make your way to Gaza, and hopefully you do break the siege. And if not, as you mentioned, you continue to open the world's eyes to the realities of the people of Gaza and just the brutality of the IOF, and all those that are in cahoots with them, whether it's countries like Greece and the United States of America and many others. We're going to leave it here for now. Do you have a special message to the people of South Africa, those that are watching right now, and the people from all across the world who will be following you guys?
Yes, absolutely. Viva Palestine, viva. Palestine will be free. Free, free Palestine.
There we go. On that very beautiful note, Assalamu alaikum, and hope we chat again soon. And Godspeed.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Shukran for having me. Assalamu alaikum.
There you go. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful interview. And this is going to be the first of many. We're officially launching our Global Sumud Flotilla series, where we're going to be speaking to South Africans who have made this journey to Gaza and a part of the Global Sumud Flotilla. We're going to be speaking to other people and the nationalities, just give you first-hand experiences of what's going on in international waters, what's going on inside those boats, how are they feeling, their fears, they are realities, what's motivating them, what made them be part of this wonderful journey, and anything and everything that you need to know about the Global Sumud Flotilla, as we've always done in previous years. You'll be getting it firsthand right here on Salam Media. But otherwise, from myself, Salah Elo, and everyone behind the desk, we're going to leave it here for now. Shap shap.